Hey, what's going on, my friends? This is Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary, and we are woke as hell here in Orlando, Florida. I don't know if you could hear that or not, but we have 70, 50, somewhere in there. I'm bad at counting. Dropout. We've got a few friends here in the room, and we are going to be masterminding. We're going to be learning. We're going to be teaching. We're going to be growing this weekend. And really, honestly, the only thing that's missing here is your ass sitting at home on your couch if you decided not to come. But I was just talking about like the show to everybody here in the room and what this show has done for me and what I hope it's done for the, which is back in March of 2020. We started this show with me being the host. We were doing it with other folks hosting the show in our team and in our company, but I started hosting the show, and it was a big commitment, right? Because, well, shit, had to show up for something every day at the same time, no matter where I was at. And sometimes I've streamed this show from the mountains of Georgia. Sometimes I've streamed it from my backyard. Sometimes I've streamed it from my car. Sometimes and most of the time I've just been right at my desk wearing the same exact shirt every day and the same hat, right? And I'm serious about that. I actually don't even wash the shirt. That's gross. I do wash it, but not much. I don't wash it. But anyways, I want to talk to you all today here briefly about our event. Since you're not here, to give you a little bit of a taste and a look into why events are important and kind of what I hope that all of our folks here get out of this. If you're sitting at home and you've been marketing, you've been building your business, you've been signing up for courses, and you've been watching webinars, and you've been reading emails, and any of that familiar. I mean, it's like webinar after guru after course, and then while you're doing your research and development, scrolling through TikTok or Facebook or whatever, before you know it, you're on a new webinar and signing up for something new, and it's like, maybe it's doing. Last time I did drop shipping with Shopify, but maybe this time it's doing drop shipping with Groove Card or some other software, right? Like maybe it's the software. But anyways, if you've kind of been sitting at home working as a self-employed person, because that's really what we all are at first, right? Remember in the cash flow quadrant where the left side is, you're employed or you're self-employed, and then over on the other side, it's where that's where you want to be as a business owner and an investor. And what makes a business owner is that you have people working with or for you, and you have systems that are in place. So most of us, when we start, are self-employed, right? We're self-employed. And so if you've been sitting at home and you've been kind of doing most of everything alone, right? And you're by yourself, and you're surrounded by family and friends who don't know what the hell you're doing, right? And for most of us, we're hiding it, like we're like smoking crack or something. It's like, we're like, shit, somebody's coming in quick, I'm gonna get on the porn site and just pretend like you're just messing around, or whatever, right? Then she'll walk in and thinks everything's normal, whatever, right? But it's like when we finally get out and we come to an event, I think one of the biggest impacts that I have is just kind of talking to people who have, a lot of the same experiences, even if they aren't all positive, if they're like some challenges, and some of the things that we can laugh at ourselves about, like the endless signing up for this and that and getting involved in all this different stuff, right? You find your tribe, you find people. And then you also, here's the other thing, is that you get in a room and you start to see people who maybe you put on a pedestal on the internet. And when you see them in person, you're like, well, I mean, hey, shit, You know what I mean? Like if they can do it, I can do it. And you start to humanize people instead of idolize. You realize you realize that even me, you know, like my ability to be able to kind of get up and just start talking. I mean, I literally just rolled out of bed like probably 9 minutes. You know what I mean? You guys are all like struggling to get here and take your Ubers. And you probably thought I'm like prepping ready for you, like, okay, doing my meditation. No, I'm sleeping until the very last minute, right? But why? I go live every day. I practice this. I've been talking and speaking and creating content for over a decade. So I mean, to be able to turn on the camera and just start talking is something that this doesn't come natural to me. This is something that I've done and I've worked on and you know, I've, I've practiced. And now, like if something doesn't land right or it doesn't sound right or whatever, like I don't stop and turn off the camera, especially if I'm live. I can't, right? It's another way to get good at speaking fast. Be live, right? We're live right now. I can't. There's no do-over, right? Just keep going. And so when we come to events, we get to hear those kind of stories, really learn the behind the scenes of their success versus just, kind of thinking that they were born like that or made like that or it's Maybelline, isn't it? Right? Um, she wasn't. He wasn't. It's all a matter of most of the time being a lot uglier behind the scenes than it looks out, interfacing. It's usually a scramble and oftentimes a panic and things are a mess and we just try to clean up whatever's in the frame of the camera, right? You know, that's kind of what it is. So, yeah, these events, as much as the content that's shared, as much as the content that's shared, we are going to be sharing a lot of amazing content, and we're going to be sharing a lot of strategies, and we're going to deliver an immense amount of training this weekend that I think will be highly life changing for everybody in the room. It's also the connection. So if you're watching this from home right now and you're thinking, hey, what is the thing that I need to do moving forward the next time I get an opportunity to maybe kind of push me over that edge, I would encourage you to try to connect, to build a support system, to get more involved. Maybe that means coming to an event and meeting people. Maybe that just means getting out of your comfort zone and networking a little bit and kind of building a small little support system that you can kind of be accountable to and communicate with. Because in all transparency, you guys know that I'm a recovering drug addict, right? So the truth is that over the past, decade plus, as I've, navigated my recovery and trying to stay clean, and I have an addiction personality, and I could pick right up where I left off at any time if I was to start, messing around, if you will. You know what I mean? Messing around, you know. Um, but I have to stay diligent mostly with my support. It's not just about me driving the train. It's about, sometimes I got to get out of the captain's chair and I got to find me a co-pilot. And that's what, sometimes it can be hard to trust people. And sometimes it can be hard to meet people. And sometimes it can be hard to connect people. And sometimes it can be hard to feel like an equal, right? Human beings have a tendency to either feel greater than or less, right? We have a hard time just feeling equal to other people because we want to feel superior is what the ego wants, but ultimately we end up feeling it is ultimately what happens. So it's hard to reach out to people. I get that. That's why I'm telling you to do it, right? Because it's important and it matters. And for me, for example, in my recovery, it's been the number one thing that's helped me to keep my life on track over the past decade plus is having support, having people that I can run things by, having people that I can get feedback from. You're looking at a lot of people in the room and many who couldn't make it in here that I may get to get a lot of the limelight here at Legendary, but they're the real, fuel in the engine and the ones who keep me accountable here in this business. I'm not greater than as because I have some title that says CEO or whatever else it is. I'm just as liable to make mistakes. I'm just as prone to do things or make bad decisions or whatever. So my point is that kind of getting in the middle of the boat. Everybody here, give yourselves a huge round of applause. I know that it was a big deal to get here. Go ahead, do it. Give yourself some credit. And you sitting at home, I don't want you to feel shame or guilt for not being here. That's not what I want. I want you to think about moving forward, getting more involved in our community, right? For some of you, what that's going to mean is just attending the show every day at 10 a.m. Eastern time for the next 30 days. Like, just set a routine, set an alarm, and tune into the show every day for the next 30 days. And take the guests that are on and go and shoot them a message after and say, hey, thanks for the content. I really appreciated it, or feel the energy of the community around you, all a bunch of people who are doing the same thing. We try to model like what happens in this room on the show. So for some of you who are really locked up or feeling paralyzed who are watching this, that's going to be my first suggestion. Just watch the show every day, like set an alarm and tune in and build a routine around your business. Now, if you can't make it live, we have it on podcast. We have it on YouTube. You can come right back to the Facebook show. But watch the show every day and build that into your routine. And what will happen, I promise you, is you'll begin to get ideas. You get a million ideas, but you will begin to get inspiration that will encourage you to then start building your own support network, building your own community, and ultimately getting started what? Marketing, right? That's all. That's the ultimate goal, is to get you into action. And then here's where the magic, you guys want to know where the magic happens? Now, I'm not David Copperfield, okay? I'm David Sharpe. But the magic happens, and this also happened to me in recovery, right? What happened to me in recovery was I stopped making it all about myself, and I started to look for other people that I could help. And when I started to look for other people that I could help, instead of just making it all about me, now all of a sudden I had a massive shift. And I started to, and it wasn't pretty. It wasn't like, now I know y'all see like these 12-step meetings like on TV or Breaking Bad or whatever, to where people are sitting in a room and it looks all awkward. It ain't like that. Like, it's pretty actually. 12-step fellowships are actually pretty game. There's some cool cats up in these places. They're probably cooler than a lot of the motherfuckers you guys are. Just consider, there's 4,000 fellowships. You might be addicted to something. Might want to find you, right? But anyways, but yeah, it's not like I all of a sudden one day just kind of came in, walking in like, hey, you know what's going on? I'm ready to help somebody who needs help. It wasn't like that. It was just, at first, it was just like, hey, can I pick up a chair? Can I serve the meeting? Can I serve somebody else? Can I pick up cigarette butts? Like something like that, like an attitude of service, right? And then what happens was I would leave the meeting, instead of feeling like, oh my God, I don't know if I can stay clean today and I don't know if I can make it. I would be fulfilled with gratitude that I delivered some value and I was able to like just contribute, right? And I know as you listen to this, it sounds simple, right? But what happens is that getting into marketing thing that I just mentioned a second ago is actually really difficult, right? Because we struggle with this mindset of like, do I really know enough? Like, can I really? I'm still struggling. Like, I'm still a newbie. Can I stay clean today? You know, can I please make a commission today? Dear Lord, I'll get down on my knees. And it's like, that's not how it works. God doesn't care about you making a commission. That's not on his agenda, right? Or her agenda, or whatever you believe, right? What matters is that we have a transformation to where we get into service and we start helping people. And so, for those of you who are listening, as you're looking to become a part of the community at first, what I would then invite you to do after your 30 days or 3 days or even right away is ask yourself, how can I start serving? How can I start serving? Right? Because the ultimate skill set that you'll learn here is not, how to be a great marketer, even though we are called legendary marketers. The ultimate skill set you'll learn is service and leadership. That's the ultimate skill set you'll learn, right? Because when you start to develop that, that's when, you know, that's when that's when people will follow and you now have what it takes to be able to build your own business. And ultimately, um, that's where, if I was to say, somebody was to say, Dave, what's been one of the biggest, best things you've been good at, that's been responsible for a lot of money? It's been building, right? But it wasn't that I just came in and just was like, okay, I know how to build communities. I'm going to make a decision to build community. No, it was those baby steps at first of just first learning how to go from needing somebody to help me get out of my struggle, right? To then making the transition to saying, hold on, I'm going to have a shift and reframe this, and I'm going to see how can I serve this space, this place, people. Okay? So also for those of you in the room this weekend, I'm going to invite you to have and adopt that same mindset, right? I know you all came here for yourself. I know you all came here to learn something. I know you all came here to take something away, to learn up and soak up as much as you want. But I wonder how much you can give. I wonder how much you can give. I wonder how much you have to offer. And that doesn't mean that I need to go around and be like, how can I help you? William? Rocking and rolling, but I'm here to serve. Like, it doesn't have to be that awkward. You know what I mean? Like, it's a reframe. I'm just putting how I see me and the situation, I'm just putting it in a frame. And I tell you, when I go to places now, it's a lot less awkward, right? I don't have to worry, like being a part of communities for me. And when I go into a new place, it's not that weird for me because I've got that, I'm seeing things through how can I go there and contribute, not just how can I go there and take, right? So it makes me a lot more comfortable being a part of communities. I think we need to relearn how to be a part of communities and tribes, you know, because I think that society, back, if you think about our ancestors, we're very tribe oriented. And now if we really honestly think about our lives, we might have one good friend who knows something about our interpersonal life. But many of us don't. And we used to live in tribes and we used to live in communities where everybody knew everything. And it wasn't gossip, it was just the village that was raising the child. And so we have to relearn how to be a part of communities and relearn how to be a part of tribes, ultimately, if we also want to lead our own and our own tribes. And if we want to get into another topic, lead our family. And, as a man, this is something that I think about. How do I lead my family better? I believe how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? So if I can improve my leadership skill sets here in this community, I'm likely going to be able to do it for my grandkids. I'm going to likely be able to show up as a different grandfather for my grandkids than somebody who, may be a, who is uncomfortable with connection or community, right? Or who, for many years like me, was very selfish minded. And I only thought about myself all the time. Now, I wouldn't consider myself a narcissist, but I wasn't damn too far away from it, because everything was about me, right? This is one of the big shifts we have to make to be successful as a business person, as a marketer, but also as as a leader of a family, as a member of a family. And so, hey, I'm talking about a lot of things to you here at home, right? The shit's getting deep. I got my boots on. I'm ready to go in, right? The problem is that you all at home can't really go with me, right? Because we're gonna shut the camera off here in a moment, and we're gonna spend this weekend together, and those who are in the room, and the folks in the room are either going to be, you know, they're either going to be empowered and breaking through by the end of the weekend, or we're going to lock all the doors here pretty soon. They're going to be looking for a window to crawl out of, and I don't know. They'll let you know what ends up happening. But if you're sitting at home and you're wondering, hey, is this real? Is this a community that I can and should be a part of? What do y'all think? You think? Yes? All right. So, give yourself a chance. Give yourself a break, my friend. Put down the mouse. Stop clicking and scrolling and signing up for new webinars, right? Unsubscribe from some email lists this weekend. Get some clarity. Get some simplicity in your life. In whatever training that you're going through here with Legendary, wherever you're at in a conversation with your advisor, focus on that and give it your 110%. And if you do without distraction, I think you might be surprised what can happen. All right, my friends, get out of here. We love you. Stay legendary. We'll see you back here on Monday for another episode. Peace. Tell them goodbye, everybody. Tell them goodbye. See ya.